Here are the most recent deaths in the national news as reported at Legacy.com in the second week of December 2025. Visit Legacy.com to read full obituaries for most of the people featured in this video and leave your own condolences on their Legacy page. Actor Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa died December 4, 2025 at his home in Santa Barbara, California. He died of complications from a stroke at the age of 75. He played the shape-shifting sorcerer Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat. He first starred in the 1995 movie, then reprised his popular performance in the 2013 web series Mortal Kombat Legacy and the 2019 video game Mortal Kombat 11. Tagawa is also being remembered for his TV roles in Nash Bridges, The Man in the High Castle, Johnny Tsunami, and many more. Architect Frank Gehry died December 5, 2025 at his home in Santa Monica, California. He died after a brief respiratory illness at the age of 96. He created bold, unconventional designs that were often easy to recognize by their swooping, undulating style, like the Walt Disney Concert Hall in Los Angeles. He is being remembered for pushing the boundaries of architectural design, combining art and function with fierce originality. Gehry was a U.S. Army veteran. Civil rights figure Ann Allen Boyce died December 3, 2025 at her home in Los Angeles. She died of pancreatic cancer at the age of 84. She was one of the Clinton 12, the black students who became the first to integrate a Southern high school when they enrolled at Tennessee's Clinton High School in 1956. She and her peers endured hatred and violence as they simply attended school every day. Boyce is also being remembered as the grandmother of the late Cameron Boyce, a star of Disney's Descendants series. Musician Rafael Ithier died December 6, 2025 at his home in Bayamon, Puerto Rico. He died of natural causes at the age of 99. He was the founder, bandleader, and musical director of El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico, the Latin Grammy Award-winning band that was called La Universidad de la Salsa for launching the careers of so many salsa musicians. He is also being remembered as El Gran Combo's longtime pianist. Ithier was a U.S. Army veteran of the Korean War. Footballer John Dixie Deans died in December 2025 at the age of 79. Nicknamed in honor of football great Dixie Dean, he was a center forward best known for his years with Motherwell and Celtic football clubs. Deans is being remembered for earning 2 caps for the Scotland national team in 1974. Racing driver Michael Annett died in December 2025 at the age of 39. He raced in the NASCAR Xfinity Series for 13 years, also competing in the Craftsman Truck Series. Annett is being remembered for his one NASCAR victory at the 2019 NASCAR Racing Experience 300 at Daytona International Speedway. A note to remember, sometimes personal information such as someone's cause of death is not announced immediately by their family or the authorities. When a cause of death has not been officially confirmed, we do not report on rumors. Every family has a right to their privacy. Singer and songwriter Raul Malo died December 8, 2025 after fighting colon cancer at the age of 60. He was the lead singer for the Mavericks, the Latin-tinged country rock band that had hits like All You Ever Do Is Bring Me Down, What a Crying Shame, and There Goes My Heart. Malo is being remembered for his big, rich voice and his engaging stage presence. Author Sophie Kinsella died December 10, 2025, after fighting glioblastoma at the age of 55. She helped popularize the chick lit genre, though she preferred to call her books romantic comedies. Her bestsellers included the wildly popular Shopaholic series. Kinsella is being remembered for inspiring a love of reading with her fun and fast-paced books. Zoologist Ian Douglas Hamilton died December 8, 2025 at his home in Nairobi, Kenya at the age of 83. The founder of Save the Elephants, he spent decades studying elephants in the wild and fighting to end the ivory trade and protect the animals from poachers. Douglas Hamilton is being remembered as one of the world's most prominent voices for conservation. Singer Jubilant Sykes died December 8, 2025 in Santa Monica, California. He died of injuries sustained in a stabbing at the age of 71. He was a Grammy-nominated operatic baritone who performed on major stages across the U.S., including Carnegie Hall, the Metropolitan Opera, the Kennedy Center, the Hollywood Bowl, and many others. Sykes is also being remembered for his longtime association with the music ministry at Southern California's Grace Community Church. Musician Gordon Goodwin died December 8, 2025 of complications from pancreatic cancer at the age of 71. He was the bandleader and pianist for Gordon Goodwin's Big Phat Band, who won multiple Grammy Awards for their music, which combines big band jazz with other styles like funk and contemporary jazz. Goodwin is also being remembered for the music he composed for animation like The Incredibles and Animaniacs, and for his work to educate young musicians. Educator and politician Rod Paige died December 9, 2025, in Houston at the age of 92. He served as U.S. Secretary of Education during the George W. Bush administration, and he was a key part of developing the No Child Left Behind law in an effort to improve schools nationwide. He is also being remembered for his years in education as a teacher, football coach, and administrator. Paige was a U.S. Navy veteran who served in the 1950s. Comedian and voice actor Jeff Garcia died December 10, 2025 at a hospital in Southern California. He died after a recent stroke at the age of 50. He was a star of the Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius world, voicing Jimmy's hyperactive best friend Sheen Estevez in the original 2001 movie and several TV adaptations. He had additional voice roles in Rio, Barnyard, and Happy Feet. Garcia is also being remembered for his stand-up comedy, which he performed at clubs like the Laugh Factory and on Comedy Central. Voice actor Jim Ward died December 10, 2025 at the age of 66. The many characters he brought to life included Captain Quark in the Ratchet and Clank video games and movie, Doug Dimmadome of the Fairly OddParents, and Stoker in Biker Mice from Mars, for which he won an Emmy Award. Ward is also being remembered as the longtime co-host of the radio talk show The Stephanie Miller Show. There are still a few more celebrity tributes, but first let me just say that some of the most remarkable obituaries we saw this week at Legacy weren't for celebrities, but for everyday people like you and me. Those include this beloved great-grandmother from Kentucky and Louisiana, whose family remembers her deep kindness, her striking green eyes, and the joy she felt singing karaoke. This Methodist minister, U.S. Navy veteran, and high school track and field coach who spent years doing humanitarian relief work for the people of Haiti. And this 99-year-old Washington State grandmother, who spent World War II working as a riveter on Boeing B-29s and then worked as a barber until she was 90. At Legacy.com, any family can publish an obituary in honor of a loved one's memory, online and in local newspapers everywhere. Just visit Legacy.com and select your local community. In addition to featuring current deaths in the news, Legacy.com also honors the lives and legacies of notable people who died in the past. Here are some of this week's anniversaries. 5 years ago this week, aviator Chuck Yeager died at the age of 97. A World War II flying ace and record-setting test pilot for the U.S. Air Force, he was the first person to break the sound barrier. 5 years ago this week, dancer, singer, and actress Ann Reinking died at the age of 71. She was a Broadway great who starred in Chicago, Sweet Charity, and many other shows. 20 years ago this week, comedian and actor Richard Pryor died at the age of 65. The star of such movies as Stir Crazy and Silver Streak, he was widely considered one of the greatest stand-up comedians of all time. 45 years ago this week, singer and songwriter John Lennon died at the age of 40. With the Beatles and as a solo artist, he made some of the most popular and influential music ever, forever changing the face of rock music. Singer, dancer, and actor Sammy Davis Jr. was born 100 years ago this week. He died in May 1990 at the age of 64. Known as Mr. Show Business, he was a beloved star of Las Vegas who had a hit with The Candyman and starred in movies like Ocean's 11. Here at Legacy, we know the holiday season can be hard when someone you love has suffered a loss. We've put together a holiday gift guide for grievers, full of thoughtful and supportive gifts ranging from memorial keepsakes to genealogy subscriptions. Just visit Legacy.com and click on the gift guide. Every week in the United States, flags are lowered to half-staff to honor the lives of Americans whose communities are mourning their loss. Here are the most recent half-staff memorial flag honors. Flags across the United States have been lowered in observance of Pearl Harbor Day. Flags in Colorado have been lowered to honor the memory of State Senator Faith Winter. Flags in Florida have been lowered to honor the memory of Suwannee County Commissioner Maurice Perkins. Flags in Wyoming have been lowered to honor the memory of former State Superintendent of Public Instruction Judy Catchpole. Flags in Ohio have been lowered to honor the memory of Lieutenant James Bryan White of the Madison County Sheriff's Office. Flags in Florida have also been lowered to honor the memory of the 3 U.S. Navy sailors who were killed in a terrorist attack at Naval Air Station Pensacola in 2019. You can read more about the lives of the people featured in this video on Legacy.com. Follow Legacy.com on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube to stay up to date on national news deaths.